What's up, guys? Today we're going to be going over the new sidearm High Albedo, which is a 3-round burst kinetic sidearm, and in this video we will be going over how to get this weapon, going over the god roll for it, then finally comparing it to the Breachlight, which is one of my all-time favorite sidearms. So let's go ahead and begin with this video. The way to get this weapon is on Europa, and it's kind of like a roll drop, so you can farm it from HVTs, but you can also directly farm it from barracks once you have European Explorer 1 unlocked. And on the second page of barracks, you can buy the weapon bounties, and the third one will be the High Albedo, and this will cost 30 of the Here Always pieces. So they're definitely kind of expensive, but I would definitely say this sidearm will be worth it because it has a lot of very interesting perks. There's going to be roughly 4 perks in each slot I'm going to be talking about in this video. So first we're going to start with the left column. The first two I want to talk about are going to be threat detector and also surplus, which are going to be the 2 reload perks for this weapon. I'm sure you guys all know what threat detector is. Whenever you're surrounded by 1 enemy, you'll get ×1. Then if you're surrounded by 2 or more enemies, ×2. And if you have this paired with sidearm loader, you pretty much will always have max reload speed with this weapon. And the same will go for surplus. Whenever you have 1 or more ability and you have sidearm loader, you'll pretty much always have max reload speed. The next perk I want to talk about is going to be killing wind. Final blows grant increased mobility, weapon range, and handling for a short duration. And the one that is going to be important to us is the range. So looking at what that does, without the perk, the range on this weapon with my exact roll is roughly 16 meters. Then we go ahead and proc killing wind by getting a final blow. It will now go up to 17 meters, so only +1 meter, which isn't a lot, but will still be a somewhat noticeable difference in PvE. And this perk will last pretty long and refresh the timer every single time you get a final blow, so you pretty much have that extra meter range at all times, along with more mobility and handling. But I think the best perk in the left slot will be Ambitious Assassin. Overflows the magazine based on the number of rapid kills before reloading. So pretty much how this perk works on the sidearm, since it's a 3-round burst, every single time you get a kill and reload, you'll get 1 entire extra burst worth of ammo, so 3 shots per kill, up to 5. So you can get up to 15 extra bullets in the magazine. And as you saw, I have, I think, tactical mag on mine, which is a 30 base mag size, and that'll go all the way up to 45. And once you have 45 in the mag, it's also very easy to chain that over and over again and pretty much always have a 45 magazine. Now looking at the right column perks, the first one I want to talk about is going to be Head Seeker. Head Seeker has pretty much never been good in Destiny 2. It's roughly a 7% increase, and you first have to hit a body shot in the burst to get that 7% increase on the headshot damage, which obviously isn't a lot. And you first have to hit body shots, so overall you're going to be doing less damage with the burst than if you just hit all headshots in the first place. Then the second damage perk on this weapon will be High Impact Reserves, which I do not have on my account or any of my friends' accounts. But if it's anything like High Impact Reserves on most weapons in the game, it's going to be roughly like 11-12% buff over the entire magazine. So it'll start off at 0% increase and then go up to roughly 25 by the end. So if you average it out over every bullet, it's going to be roughly like 11 or 12%, which obviously is no like rampage kill clip or anything like that. So even though it is a damage perk, it definitely isn't that great. And now with the 2 most important perks in my opinion, Demolitionist. Even though I think Wellspring is pretty much better than Demo in every single way, I think Demo still has its place if you only are worried about grenades, because of the fact that when you throw a grenade, it will also reload the weapon. And considering that this weapon has no traditional reload perk, that will obviously come in handy in a lot of situations. And one thing I've noticed with Demolitionist, and I'm not quite sure if it works the exact same way with Wellspring, at times it seems like almost any stasis final blow procs the demo perk as long as I have the weapon out. As you see in this gameplay, when I use my melee and get 2 kills, both kills proc Demolitionist. Like, the grenade literally goes up a whole chunk the second I get the 2 kills. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there. And I don't really have a Wellspring primary on my account to see if it works the same way, but I imagine it does. And that leads me to the final perk I want to talk about for this weapon, Wellspring. This is going to be Demolitionist, but for any of your 3 abilities, so you can also do it with your melee, then also your class ability. If you're missing only 1 ability, you'll get the same amount of energy that you would with Demo, but for whatever ability is missing. But then you can also spread that energy between 2 or even all 3 abilities at once. So it's pretty much Demo minus the reload with your grenade part, but you can kind of customize it and use it to whichever ability you want. And with Stasis right now, I think all characters have really strong grenades, melees, and class abilities. So obviously I think Wellspring is definitely the way to go right now with Stasis. So I think the best role overall for his weapon is going to be either Killing Wind or Ambitious Assassin in the left slot. Then in the right slot, I think Wellspring is by far the best perk. If you get Demo, it's going to be pretty good until you get a Wellspring one, but I would definitely recommend going until you get Wellspring. And if you're a person that needs a damage buff, you could try out High Impact Reserves. But at the same time, if you want a sidearm with a traditional reload and damage perk, I think there's better options in the game. One thing that helps this weapon's lack of a damage perk is this fragment right here, which will be a 25% buff after you freeze a target. Obviously, you could do this with something like Rampage also and get 25% on top of the 30% Rampage, but with this weapon having no perk like that, it will kind of make it feel like it has Rampage on it because of the fact that you pretty much will have that buff at all times, and it's a 25% buff. So it kind of feels like the last hope with Rampage if you're running Stasis. And if we compare this new sidearm to the Breachlight, which is getting sunset after a season, so this is the last season that we can use it, and it has Demo and Rampage, which is obviously a very unique role because usually the utility and damage perks are in the same column, but on Breachlight they're in different slots. And I've always felt like Breachlight was the best filling sidearm in the game. It always just felt like it had the best range of all the sidearms and also the best hit detection at that range. Then on top of that, obviously it has Demo and Rampage at the same time, which is obviously I think one of the best roles you could possibly get, unless you found one with Rampage and Wellspring. So if we compare a few numbers of the Breachlight to the high Albedo, look at the damage on Carl with Breachlight, we hit 1990 per shot. And looking at the rate of fire 1 magazine, to get the DPS number of this sidearm, it's going to take 4.1 seconds, meaning 11,587 DPS. Now obviously you're not using Breachlight on a boss, but we're just kind of looking at the fill of the weapon, and the DPS number will kind of give us an idea of how it will fill versus enemies. Now doing the same with the high Albedo, testing the rate of fire. Takes 3.4 seconds, meaning DPS is 12.4 thousand, so it should feel a little bit better than the Breachlight, but the Breachlight can get Rampage, which will take the DPS up to 15,000. But if you have the fragment on Stasis with the high Albedo, that will also take that DPS to 15,532, which is a little bit higher than the Rampage times 3 on the Breachlight. Now obviously yes, you can get that fragment perk on the Breachlight also, but I'm just saying it should feel like the Breachlight was in previous seasons. So overall, I'm definitely a huge fan of this weapon. I don't quite have any god rolls on my account yet. The closest I have is the Ambitious Assassin and Demolitionist, and obviously I would like to have Wellspring instead. I pretty much don't even have Wellspring on any primary on my account, I'm pretty sure. I think I only have it on the Deafening Whisper, so I'm definitely really itching to get my hands on a Wellspring one on my account, because I think this sidearm will be pretty much my go-to kinetic primary for the entire season. I pretty much have used Breachlight as my kinetic primary of choice since Season of Dawn, and I think this one has the best chance yet to replace that. And once I get a few of those god rolls on my account, I'll definitely use them for several weeks and just kind of fill out which one is the best and see if I like it better than Breachlight long term. But if you don't have Breachlight because you didn't play in Season of Dawn, and in future seasons once the Breachlight has been sunset, this will obviously be the best choice for a kinetic sidearm, so it's definitely worth getting the god roll on it. And I think that's going to be pretty much it for the commentary of these sidearms. I'm working on a few really big videos I want to push out this coming week. The first one will be like best weapon loadouts for the season. Then after that, I want to make my ultimate Stasis Warlock build now that we have all the aspects and different fragments. And I'm still missing a few pieces of those builds, so I'm trying to farm out those rolls and get those videos out. But I should have a video on the new Warlock aspect tomorrow, so definitely look forward to that. Anyways, enjoy the rest of the Strike gameplay. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.